Alright guys, hi. Today we're going to talk a little more about linking verbs. Most of you did very well on the last worksheet, but that was when we were simply looking at is, am, are, was, and were versus an action verb. So we're going to take it to the next step and talk about what happens when your linking verb looks like an action verb, like becomes, feels, looks, seems, tastes, sounds, grows. And there are more than that, but I was running out of room on my board. So you can feel free to look those up. Just type in list of linking verbs, and I'm sure if you click on an image in Google, it will give you a whole chart of them. Alright, so I'm going to first review the tips and tricks I taught you on the last video. So, I have two sentences here. The dog looks sad today. The dog looks at the ball. One of these is using a linking verb, and one of these is using an action verb. However, they have the same verb, so how do I tell? So the first thing that I would say you want to do, get rid of those prepositional phrases. If you see them, let's start here. The dog looks sad today. I don't see any prepositional phrases, so I've got my verb, my subject. So a linking verb, if it is a linking verb, is going to connect my subject to a noun or an adjective in the predicate. So that noun or adjective is another description of my subject. It should describe my subject, or it should be able to replace my subject. So, the dog looks sad today. Let's say I'm looking at this, I'm like, I don't know, sad might be an adjective, but I don't really know. Let's replace this with is, am, are, was, or were. Since it's in present tense and it's singular, I'm going to replace it with is. The dog is sad today. That is a sentence that makes sense. I understand what that sentence is saying. So that tells me that sad actually is an adjective that is describing the dog. The sad dog. Alright, let's look at this one now. First, I want to get rid of my prepositional phrases, so at the ball. So now I'm left with the dog looks. So, my verb is looks. Who looks? The dog. Now in this sentence, I don't have anything in my predicate. I took out that prepositional phrase, so I don't have anything in my predicate. And I know that the dog is physically looking at something. He is performing an action and doing something. So I know that this is an action verb. Oops. There you go. This is an action verb. That looks. Alright, so let's jump to your worksheet. It's pretty simple today. Alright, so it says, on the chart, list the subject and verb in each sentence. Then tell me whether it is a linking verb or an action verb. So first, I'm taking out all of those prepositions, despite the medicine. So I'm going to cross that off. The patient remained ill. So I've got my subject, patient, my verb, remained. So if I look at remained, it is past tense. So, and it's singular, so I'm going to substitute with was. The patient was ill. That makes sense. I understand that. So that tells me it's a linking verb. And that tells me ill is an adjective that is describing patient. The ill patient. So then when I go to the next part, I have to put my subject, patient, my verb, remained, and tell whether it's an action or a linking verb. We determined it's a linking verb, so I'm just putting linking. Alright, so that is what you are doing for all of these sections. So I broke them up into 2 chunks just so it didn't look too overwhelming. There are just 15 questions, and I can even do one more with you. So the diner choked on a piece of steak. Getting rid of my prepositions, I have on a piece of steak. So I'm left with the diner choked. I've got diner, that's a person who's eating there, and he's choked. So I don't have anything in my predicate. So I'm just left with the diner choked. There's nothing that can connect my subject to a description in the predicate. So that tells me, along with the fact that I can see this happening and this is an action, that this is an action verb. So in my chart down here, for number 1, I'm going to write diner. For my verb, I'm going to write choked and action, because it is an action and a linking verb. Alright guys, for my class, you can either turn this in on Google Classroom or you can turn it in on Student View, whichever way is easier for you. Alright, have a good day. Bye.